We are live. Hi, everyone. I hope you are well, or as well as you possibly can be. I'm nervous. I'm always nervous when I go on live on this account. Hi, my loves. Thank you for joining. Happy Jupiter, Conjunct Neptune. It's a vibe. Hola. Hi, everyone. Oh, Jess, you're already. Oh, perfect. Queen says she's on time. Dream girl to you. Oh, I hope you are all well, or as well as you possibly can be, as I said. Today is quite the day. Wait, how do I... It's like every single time. It's like the first time. Okay, there we go. I'm inviting Jess. And we're going to have ourselves a good time. I thank you for saying I look cute. A delicious bowl of soup. Soup. Hi, my love.
Hi, beautiful soul.
You're in nature itself. I'm loving
wondering
this.
if I have to get off the internet. I am in nature. I might have to hop off and hop right back on because my internet's being a little shaky. I'll be right back.
Honey, time isn't real. Manifestation transits be like beautiful. Well, please let me know how you are feeling. I'm so curious to know. But while we wait for Jess to join us, to give you a little synopsis, today is such a beautiful day astrologically. It's honestly what I would believe to say one of the best ones that we are going to have this year, but also for quite a long time. It's one of those like once in a lifetime transits that I would really invite us to be intentional with, to work with. Mariah Carey doesn't acknowledge time. I'm like moving further and further away from like the linear perspective of time. So if that isn't any indication that Mariah Carey and I share souls, then there's that. But yes, this is going to be a really beautiful way to set intention when it comes to how we can work with this Jupiter and Neptune conjunction. I'll talk a little bit more about like what it is, but essentially what we'll be doing today is we're going to talk about what this conjunction means for us, especially relative to your rising or your sun sign. Then we're going to talk we're going to have some cards pulled. Jess is going to be doing some Reiki while I lead us through like a visualization meditation. So it's going to be really good. I'm feeling so rebellious. Yeah. Let me know. We've also been in an energy that has really invited us to purge a lot because of some Pluto aspects. So if you've been feeling emotional the last few days, few weeks, and if your dreams have especially been symbolic or just if you've been feeling like I haven't been getting rest because of how active my like subconscious and my dream state has been, then literally same. Thank you for joining though. I haven't been to bed at all. I feel like I'm not getting rest. I'm sleeping, but am I resting really? Thank you guys all for joining, by the way. I don't know if that oh, okay, no. Okay, I'm waiting for Jess to join us. But yeah, she'll be doing some Reiki while I do the meditation. But in the meantime, like I said, not me crying, my acai bowl melted before I got to it. I finished my honey that I've been having with my like breakfast every morning, and I like genuinely had to have like a funeral in my heart for it. Thank you. Aries season has been fire. Yeah. So the beautiful thing about it is that Aries season has really called for us to implement action into our movement and really move forward with our desires and what we want to create for ourselves. But some of the Pluto aspects, Chiron action has also been surfacing the ways in which fear or stagnancy has played a role in us maybe not taking that action. And so we've kind of been confronted with in what ways have you been standing in your own way, which is very liberating because you can get out of your own way, but also very harsh because we're being met with, oh, that's because of that one trauma that I had that one time in my life when I had that one rejection. So there's a lot of energetic and emotional movement. I'm sleeping, but my brain is full of chatter. Literally me. Like I cannot escape the constant dialogue that is happening right now, and everything has been so loud. And that just, yeah, I mean, so much Pisces energy right now has really been making our mind state super overactive. So if you haven't been getting the best or the most restful sleep, I would really just invite you to implement some more like grounding practices. This just start. Yes, this is just start. Yes, absolutely. So let me see if we can get Jess back on. But I'm so grateful and there we go. Beautiful. Let go. Yeah, honestly, if anything, that is kind of the premise of what I want to talk about today. So the thing, oh, there you are, my queen. Are we feeling like the internet is
I think so. Can you hear me and see me okay?
perfectly?
Okay, good.
Well, how are you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm just excited to be here. I'm just grabbing some stuff because I had to like relocate, so everything just fell out. But I'm right here. Hi.
Listen, we're flowing, babe. We're flowing. How has, because we've kind of, I mean, today is the day, but we've been kind of like dancing with this Jupiter Neptune energy for like a few days. How have you been feeling? Have you been getting good sleep?
You know what's so funny is I actually got such wonderful sleep last night.
Good for you.
Is that like a thing right now? We're not getting good sleep? Is that what's happening?
It's just like I think our there's so much going on in like there's a lot of third eye energy right now. So like your mind may be racing. Our dream states are very, very vivid. Like we're having a lot of vivid and symbolic dreams. So yeah, I was curious to know.
It's so interesting that you're saying that about third eye energy, because I always connect the third eye with also the sense of trust. And
Yeah.
so the one thing I have been sensing is like how to trust in the expansion that's about to unfold.
Oh, perfect intro into what I wanted to immediately say about this Jupiter and Neptune conjunction. So the reason why this conjunction is so important is because it's one of those once in a lifetime things, and I can't stress it enough. The last time that we had Jupiter and Neptune conjoin in the sign of Pisces, especially like at 23 degrees, this really critical degree, was like in the 1800s, and it won't happen again until 2188. So like this is something that we really are being
Wow.
called with so intentionally because it's one of those once in a lifetime things. And the thing about it is Jupiter's a planet that rules abundance and expansion and spirituality. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. And you know, Neptune is kind of the planet that, if anything, denotes how we connect to spirituality, how we connect to our guides, the ethers, how we define God to be. And so when you boil that down, I'll get to how it'll affect us like via our rising sign. But what I want to immediately take away is we are being called to plant seeds of intention that are going to be watered by trust in like whatever cosmic kitchen you think life is being cooked up in. And it's like if you've been feeling like you've been carrying the weight of solving your problems, the weight of like I have to fix myself, I have to manifest this thing, I have to heal all my wounds. Today is a day to really come back to how can I see what I want for myself and then surrender the trust of knowing that something else is taking care of it. You know what I mean?
Wow. I mean, full body chills. And also, it's our boy Ikaru's birthday on here, our
I
divine
just
soul.
thought right now, happy
So
birthday,
happy
my
birthday, Ikaru.
son!
Oh,
Oh,
we love you. We love
we
you.
love you
So
so
much, Ikaru. Ikaru, so much. But
much.
you know, I think that this is such a potent time. Had as I listen to you more talk about this, because I feel like that's the thing is how do we get to trust in the unknown? You know, how do we get to really be in that space?
100%. Sorry, my thing paused, but I heard the
No.
just like, and oh my gosh, I'm so happy we're getting all these happy birthday messages. Ikaru, you are literally like you live by example when it comes to how loudly you honor your Aries energy. And I do want to say that we do want to implement that Aries energy into how we navigate these intentions that we set for ourselves today. In that, yes, it's important that we take aligned action. And yes, it's important that we no longer act through outdated ways of being. That, you know, if you know you are manifesting love into your life, for example, and you've been nurturing these half-ass connections or these situationships or through lower vibrational ways of honoring your worth, yes, it is time to those. It's time to take the action when it comes to aligning with what you are evolving into. But I think what's most important here is recognizing that you don't have to do it all alone. And like when we're constantly carrying the weight of, I have to fix this wound, I have to heal this wound, I have to, you know, if I have this dream career, I have to exert all of this energy, we can get so exhausted to the point where our arms are just too tired to carry any more weight. And so it's like, how can we trust? And so I'm curious to know like what your journey with trusting has been, because that's kind of what's
You
being
know,
called.
I love that we're saying this. I'm so sorry because I had this all set up and then of course the internet's not
You're
working, so I apologize. But I'm here. Okay. You know, the one thing that I love that you said is like have to. Like I try to shift the narrative to I get to, right? Because I think when we're like, I just have to trust in my dreams, I just have to trust in the abundance will come. What if it was like I get to? I get to have the opportunity to let that flow in. And I honestly think it just comes down to where are you taking that that leap of faith, right? And so when we think about the third eye, I think about, you know, the sense of like what visual comes to me is if there was a line drawn in the sand and I have one of my feet on this side, the other foot on the other side. And to me, it's all about where am I going to and when am I going to put that back leg, just pick it up and put it into the other side. And I think that like some of us, we might be just kind of half putting it up, but once we actually pick it up and put it in fully to the other side, we're energetically declaring to the universe that we are ready to move forward. When we're kind of in this hesitation and this I don't know, we're sending that frequency out. And so that's where I think it's really just declaring it for yourself.
Yes, forward movement begets forward movement. I always say it. And if you want anything to kind of move forward in your life, you have to be that movement, but you also have to trust that there's something guiding and illuminating the next step. And it's really that balance of trusting and going. But I think, you know, especially today, and what's so beautiful about the energies of Jupiter and Neptune is that Jupiter expands everything. Jupiter is a planet that is boisterous and loud and doesn't really want to shrink itself. So what I will say is the vision that you have for yourself, make sure that it is as large and as loud as your soul desires it to be. Truly. As large and as loud as your soul desires it to be. Do not dilute your desires to abide to your own fear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes we want this like larger than life love, for example, but we think, well, you know, that tends to happen for other people and not me. So like, I'm just comfortable with someone who, you know, calls me every now and then. Like, no, see the largest version of desire that you have and trust that your aligned action is going to be met with the universe supplementing and meeting you wherever you are at, right? Like, there's something larger. There's this, I mean, how deep do I want to go into this? Because everything is vibration, right? So if we really stand in the frequency of not only seeing the largeness of the love that we desire, but also recognizing how it already exists in our current reality, we'll vibrationally align with the manifestation of it. And so it's like, it's just also this cosmic dance that we're really being invited to be limitless and boundless with right now. Yeah.
And I think that I love what you're saying. Everything is so relevant because I think that, you know, manifesting is chasing a feeling. And so what is the biggest feeling that you can chase within your dreams, right? And to really kind of let yourself believe in it, feel it, experience it, because that's where you start to just build more of that momentum, right? Of being an object in motion of whatever energy you are trying to really cultivate for yourself. So I love that. Yeah. Why not diminish? Why do we have to diminish our dreams? You know, the thing is that we are deserving of change. We get very scared of change. We get very scared of the, you know, of the unknown. And but think about it like this too. When like you're in a relationship and you're maybe in the first beginning phases and it's really exciting and you're not really quite sure maybe where it's going to end up. And then you're married or you're in full committed partnership, whatever that looks like to you. And then you kind of just know. And then we're like, I wish that I had that excitement, right? Or I wish I had that thing, right? So it's like we can really kind of also take a note from what the unknown feels like, that there's a level of excitement that we may not be able to experience because once we're in it, we're going to be then going to the next thing, right? And change is not part of the process. It is the process. So we're going to always be evolving and we get to be in that space.
Oh my God, yes, 100%. And you don't realize how exhausted you get when you are constantly chasing something rather than recognizing that those dreams, those manifestations are going to arrive to you. And that's the beauty of the unknown, is knowing that if you can just cement yourself in what is right now and what is delicious about right now and really honor and take care of that, what you desire is going to arrive at the given space that you're standing in now. And I think what's so beautiful about this specific transit and why I would really just encourage everyone to really work with today, like after this, go to nature, make an offering to your ancestors, to your guides, whether it's, you know, returning to some form of nature, offering a seashell or honey at your altar, whatever it is, really work with giving gratitude for the ways in which your guides and your ancestors have really shown up for you. But what I will say, and what I think is the loudest part of Jupiter and Neptune, is the fact that we don't have to do anything in order to deserve. We do not have to do anything in order to deserve. We don't have to perform for a validation. Like the things that we're calling into our lives right now, I think, for instance, I keep using like the example of like calling into a relationship, but like, I think especially when you're on this healing journey, you think, I have to heal this issue. I have to be this version of myself in order to deserve this relationship that I desire. And what Jupiter and Neptune conjunct is really saying is like, how can you see the largest version of your life, the deepest version of your desires, and already recognize yourself as innately worthy of it. There's no work that you have to do. Yes, you can take aligned action. Yes, you can release and make space and room for, but ultimately, like that, okay, well, first I have to heal this wound, and first I have to get this thing done. And even in work, like, first I have to, make all these pitches and exert all of this energy in order to deserve. And it's like, what conditioning taught you that, pleasure is a derivative of productivity? And how can you just immerse yourself in knowing that, like, as a being that is alive in this moment, I just am innately worthy and deserving. You know what I mean?
Oof. Wow. That is everything that you're saying is just what I needed to hear. And I'm so excited about this because I was like selfishly wanted to get on this live just to hear like what's going on. Cause it's like something, you're like therapy for my soul right now. But I think that exactly what you said, cause it's like, then you're tapped into being a vessel. You're tapped into being a conduit of what you are deserving of when you shift the narrative of not having to do anything, but actually just knowing that you are deserving. That's where you shift the frequency completely versus blocking it.
Yes, that's exact. There is nothing that you have to do. Actually, like, if there is any homework, it's how can you notice how what you are calling in already exists. So if you're calling in love, how can you notice the love that's already here? If you're calling in success, how can you bring your attention to what is successful and what's working out right now, and immerse yourself in that and play with that and let yourself be free and liberated, and knowing that, like, there's no hard labor that we need to do in order to live lives that are abundant. Like Jupiter and Neptune, if there's any like sentence that I could give that conjunction, is you don't need to do or act or, really just like work yourself down to the bone in order to be deserving of a gift. Like, you can just immerse yourself in aligned action and do what feels right and follow and notice love and know that that frequency is going to attract only more of it, right? So like, yeah, I just think conditioning and the way we've kind of been societally programmed has taught us that there's like the linear way of living life is doing and then receiving. And it's like, I can just notice what I've received and receive more. Like, life hack. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And exactly, aligned action. How beautiful is that? And that's, I think when you're in, and I offer this mantra that's like coming through, the less I do, the more I receive. The less I do, the more I receive. What if that was the narrative, right? Because we're taught so differently. But really, what if we were just to like sit, and I'm not saying, listen, I am a Capricorn. I work like crazy. You know this, right? But I've been actually really in a transformational period in my own personal life where I feel energetically forced to slow down. And it's been very eye-opening. But the one thing that I kind of keep thinking to myself is, how can I actually just be and still receive? Like, there's power in that.
It's a mindset shift. You don't realize how, like, the frequency that you can tap into when you allow yourself to just be, like I said, innately worthy. When we attach our worth to what we do, to the validation of external resources or people, when we think, oh, okay, that I've gotten that amount of income, or I've gotten those amount of clients, or that person is not doing as well as I am, so that means I'm here, right? We're constantly attaching our worth to things that are outside of ourselves, and we're riding that wave so much, right? And if you're putting all your worth in, this person likes me, so therefore I'm enough. What happens when that person decides to walk away? Where is your enoughness coming from? So when we start to resource our value within self and innately, and realize that we are just worthy beings because here we are, right? We're like a microcosm on this macrocosm, and we get to, just experience these lives where we connect with others, and when we have purpose, and when we're constantly exuding and emitting and attracting love, that worth becomes self-resourced. And then it's like, there's nothing to do, only like a life to notice and just a version of yourself to be. And mind you, I'm witnessing how like ethereal the words we're saying are, and this couldn't be more Jupiter and Neptune. Like, I hope someone is taking Neptune from this.
I'm just so curious. Okay, because so this is not going to happen, you said, until like, what was the year again?
2188.
Wow. Okay, how magical are those numbers too? But so now Jupiter, I know a little bit about, but can you go into a little bit more of Neptune? I'm just curious about like where like Neptune also lies too.
Yes, so there's shadow and light to everything. And I do want to say, with Neptune transit like this, what we do want to be weary of is ignoring red flags because we're looking at it through a rose-colored lens. So Neptune can sometimes make things very blurry. So now probably, like I said, it's not the best time to like get together with an ex or like let yourself be delusional, right? But we do want to use this ethereal energy to really see the largeness, the largest version of our lives, and work with Jupiter, which is a planet that really pours abundance and success and luck into things, to really manifest and make grand wishes. But yeah, no, Neptune is how we connect to spirituality, or connect to what we define God to be. It's this abundant planet, which something like super insane happened yesterday. I think it like dropped temperature for like the first time ever since like we began to study Neptune, which is like a fun little science fact that I'm super confused about. Let me read some comments. Reaching
Wow.
validation, not yes, 100%. I can't start yoga until I gain more flexibility. Yes, and it's funny because the flexibility is gained when you start yoga. Like, you know what I mean? You'll find yourself when you just move, when you just move and you don't think so much about moving. So with that being said, I wanted to kind of give some insight on where we can be guided to plant seeds of intention relative to our rising sign, and our sun sign as well. And then from there, I don't know if you have any cards that you want to pull, or we can
Yes. Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so if you want, you can pull cards while I do this, and then we'll move into, for those of you just joining, or
Ooh. Are you going to go through each of the signs?
yes, quickly though, it won't be long.
Do you want me to like pick a quick card as you go through?
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be perfect. Oh,
yeah. Let's do it. Okay.
Let's do that then. And we'll move into kind of like this visualization meditation, and Jess will give us some Reiki love, and then I will set you free to have the most beautiful fairy-like day possible.
Yes.
So we'll start with the water risings. Listen for your rising sign, but also this will resonate for your sun sign as well, but mainly your rising sign. So Pisces, right? This is happening in your first house, the house of identity, the house that rules not only your physical appearance, but your self-expression, your sense of self-expression. So you want to set intention on your sense of identity. How do I stand in this world in a way that's authentic and true, especially to who I have evolved into being? So yeah, what came up for that?
I stand in my power, bear energy. So this is really it. This is it. Boundaries, authority. So exactly what you said, just being authentic to you and how you want to show up in the world around you that comes from your sense of self first.
Yes, 100%. In the first house, every time we have a transit there, it's really like, it's exactly what we were talking about. When my power self-resource, what does my life look like? When I'm not performing for external validation, what does my life look like? So beautiful. So work with the bear then, my queens. Scorpio risings or Scorpio suns. This is going to be in your second house. Wait, no, that's not true. It's not. It's in your fifth house. But this is going to be creativity, your creative outlets, inner child play, and romance. So you really want to set intention on like, how do I express myself? And in what ways am I actually exercising my creativity? And also really making sure that you're returning to your inner child on a daily basis and asking them like, what do you want to do today? How do you want to be expressed today? What do you want to explore today? And romance, let yourself date, let yourself take the time to set intention on like, how can romance be fun and not so serious?
I love that, because what we have here is the peacock, and it's I rejuvenate, and it's self-love and purity. So purifying perhaps some of the overwhelm that doesn't allow you to be in that space of play. You know, with the peacock's beautiful boldness here, it's really, it almost is like, I feel like what I'm sensing is that you're in this space where you're just attracting so much admiration with these beautiful peacock energy, feathers coming through for you. So really now's the time to just rejuvenate and just know that you're a magnet even more when you're in play.
Oh, you're a magnet even more when you're in play. That's exactly it. When you align with that frequency of play, pleasure just finds you. I love that. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Cancer rising, Cancer suns. This is in your ninth house. This is the house of travel, of spiritual learning, of studying. So if you are in a place where you kind of want to like learn something new or take on a new craft, it would be a beautiful time to set intention on that. But ultimately, what parts of the world do you want to see? What new cultures do you want to immerse yourself with? And how can, I think this is the most important part whenever we have a ninth house transit, how can I be more intentional with how I experience God, with how I define spirituality, and how can I maintain ritual and commitment to that? So yeah.
Well, we got crown chakra again. So this is for Cancer. This is really the hummingbirds coming in and saying, I deserve joy. So just knowing that your connection to God, your higher source, is really, it should be a joyful experience for you. And to really keep moving towards the sweetness and the infinite possibilities in which you can connect to God that is all around you and inside of you.
Oh my gosh. And first of all, I like have been connecting with hummingbirds so deeply. And I feel like every time they show up for me, it really is this like signal of witness God. Like look at the ways in which God is being experienced. In fact, my practice for this Venus and Pisces is that every morning I'm writing down 3 ways that I see love, I experience love. So like it'll be like the chocolate cacao nibs in my yogurt, or like music, or the wind. So that just made me feel really called to say, like, no, write down every single day 3 ways that you see or experience God or experience love.
Ooh, love that.
That'd be beautiful. Okay, so moving on to Earth risings. We're going to start off with Taurus risings. So this is, ooh, I think we lost Jess. Hopefully she's still pulling her card anyway. Time to get my hummingbird feeders out. Please do. I love that. So in the meantime, for Taurus risings, this is going to be in your 9th house. No, not, I'm sorry, 11th house of community, of digital identity, and friendships. So you want to make sure that the people that you're surrounding yourself with, your platonic friendships, are really honoring and mirroring who you have evolved into. Set intention on connecting to community a bit deeper. And above all else, your digital identity. So what does social media mean for you? Is it burning you out? And if it isn't burning you out, or if it is, how can you shift your relationship with it to be intentional and purposeful?
Ooh, this is perfect. Panda bear. I tune out to tune in. Peace, harmony. So I would really actually like invite everybody, like, because we're on Leo, right?
Mm-hmm. No, we're on Taurus.
Yeah. Taurus. Sorry, Taurus. So I would invite Taurus to actually take this moment to meditate more, to really see what is your connection to the digital world, how you're engaging in it, how does it support you, what feels peaceful, what doesn't feel in harmony, what doesn't feel in flow. This is really about you and your heart chakra. So with the panda bear's energy, they just sit, they eat their bamboo. It's a moment for us to take in a sense to pause and reflect, because there's definitely duality in perhaps your relationship to the digital world, and really kind of listening to it from your own context deep within your heart.
Oof, 100%. Oh my gosh. Yeah. When you tune out and you tune in, you actually understand like the vibrational frequency that you tap into will align not only your community members, but also just like the messages that you are meant to either receive or give via your digital outlet. So, oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my Taurus queen. So Virgo risings or Virgo sun. This is going to be in your 7th house. This is a major house to have this in. So this is your relationships, right? Mainly your romantic ones. Yes, this is going to color how we relate to the world and to everyone entirely, but mainly your romantic partnerships. So really reflect on or set intention on the boundaries that you either want to take down because you realize are blocking you from receiving love, or the boundaries that you need to put up in order to have a healthy relationship and dialogue with love. Definitely.
Oh, so I am mindful of my thoughts, bright and manifest. And so this is throat chakra. And so what the Macaw's energy is really saying is that to be more bright in your truth, to express it, to share it more. So whatever your truth is, whatever, because now you're talking about, relationships so heavy, like whatever the relationship is for you, whatever your partnership you're in, is to really get so clear of how would I like to manifest this partnership to move forward right now? How would I like to show up and be more bold, be more in touch with what really helps me to fly with my highest expression?
Yes. Oh my gosh. And because we're also working with Jupiter and Neptune, you really want to make sure that the relationship that you either calling in or that you want to sweeten, that it's the largest and deepest version of love possible, that you're not limiting the amount or the kind of love that you can feel deserving of, right? And that you can speak that, you can honor that with the way that you see yourself, and really implement those boundaries when it comes to either releasing situationships that don't honor that, or to kind of like, immediately upon when you meet someone that you connect with, saying, hey, these are my needs. You know what I mean? I'm deserving of voicing these needs. So yeah, a beautiful card. And lastly, for the Earth risings, we have Capricorn. Jess, this is your community here. So this is in your 3rd house. So this is the house of communication, self-expression, and honestly, just your voice. So what do you need to speak on? What are the no's that you need to say right now? What are the yeses that you need to say right now? And ultimately, what are you going to do with your mind? There's such, when we have a resurgence in the 3rd house, there is this reconnection to our intellectuality, our intelligence, and what are like the unique ideas and forms of expression that we want to give to the world, and how are we going to be brave enough to say them? So,
Oh,
yeah.
Hold on, I needed a moment to say that in for myself, because that like hit me right.
Honey,
so let me just.
Yay! Yes.
So I love this for all my caps out here. I trust what is ahead. And it's Sacral Chakra, and it's the camel, and it's explore perseverance. And I think exactly what you're saying, because we store a lot of our fears and our need to control in our Sacral Chakra. And so really this is also the form of transformation of where we're letting in new energy, where we're beginning, we're birthing something. And so right now, what are you saying yes to and what are you saying no to, so that you can truly trust in what's ahead, and you can also really get clear of really welcoming in the energy that you truly deserve in your transformational journey.
I love to hear it. I absolutely love to hear it, especially because the only thing that really is, thank you. The only thing that's standing in the way of you really voicing is fear on how it's going to be received or perceived. And so it's really like releasing that, relinquishing that, and standing in the knowing of what I meant to say is meant to be heard, right? So go off, my Cap Queens. Moving into air signs, air risings. If you are a Gemini sun or a Gemini rising, this is in your 10th house of career, of divine masculine, and of your status and your platform. So we really want to bring our awareness to what do I want to do and who do I want to be, and in what ways am I going to feel worthy of calling it in, of aligning with it by understanding that I am deserving of having the highest, most juiciest form of success. So this is a great transit to have Jupiter and Neptune pass through, because really set intention on like, what's the largest form of my life that I build.
I love this because we got the cow, throat chakra. I am gentle with my voice, communication, tenderness. And so I know that a lot of air signs are sometimes in their head. And so everything you kind of just shared, I would invite all the Geminis out there to really kind of like, to be really soft with your inner dialogue right now, to be really kind of so clear and speak to yourself with so much tenderness of like, I am deserving of this, advancement. I am deserving of this elevation, but not from this place of like, I am deserving, but more of just like really taking it in. So just asking yourself, would I bless this thought and how it is supporting my career? And kind of just taking that energy of really communicating with more gentleness and more tenderness with really your worth.
Totally. First of all, I have so much to say to that, but I do want to acknowledge like the that are like, oh, I've been doing my sacral work. I love it. I love how And yeah, and with what you were saying, I think also it's worth noting that when we're in our divine masculine, we think that we have to do so much in order to sort of receive or build these platforms. But I think that gentleness, inviting in that gentleness by knowing that I can just follow what feels right in that given moment, right? And like allow what that gives me to be how I reach and affirm that largeness for me, right? It doesn't have to mean that I exert all of the energy that I have left, but rather like the slow and small movements are what are going to build something large. So yeah, I'm deserving of that. Gorgeous. So I'm Team Aquarius. If there are any Aquarius risings or Aquarius suns here, this is in your second house. So money, and your self-worth and your sense of security. So you really want to set intention on how can I build a healthier relationship and outlook when it comes to money. But also, money is energy. And when we are in a flow with our self-worth, we're in a flow with money. It's all connected. So you also want to make sure that what is your relationship with how you view your own sense of self-worth? Do I feel worthy of money, of luxury, of rest, of play, of nurture? Or do I feel like I need to work for it in order to deserve it? So really reflecting on your relationship with money, your relationship with self-worth, and setting intention on how, and mind you, these are all intentions to work with for Jupiter and Neptune, which Jupiter and Neptune really wants us to surrender the work of what we are manifesting to your guides, to your angels, to the universe. So like, how can I surrender any qualms that I have with money or self-worth and just know that it can be taken care of?
Oof. Well, look at this one. You ready? I am the master of my domain, lion, courage and personal power, solar plexus chakra. So this is it for your, yes, loves. It's like just really knowing, the thing with the lion's energy is that they really are the master of their own domain. They have their pride. They, the women actually are even the ones that kind of go out and actually bring back the food. So this is like really kind of an empowering message right now that you get to be more courageous with how you feel you are deserving of abundance. You get to own your personal power and trusting your abundance in the sense of that, knowing that the more abundance you receive, the more you are going to spread it. Okay. And knowing exactly this, I am the master of my domain. Abundance, everything else that you were looking for, it's not outside of you. You are the master of it within yourself. Yes.
Oh, God. First of all, Women of Alchemy said, I don't work, spirit works through me. That is a game changer. Absolutely. Thank you
Yes.
for that affirmation. And I also want to say that lions obviously are the emblem of Leo, which is the polar opposite, or like the sister sign to Aquarius. And so we can always learn something very important from our sister signs. That's why they're sister signs, because they're the other side of your polarity. And so I think Leos are just, you don't really have to convince a Leo that a Leo is deserving. A Leo knows that. And so I think Aquarius can kind of take that nectar from that. My dog's
Yes.
girl.
I love it. I love it.
And lastly, for the air suns and the air risings, we have Libra. So this is moving into your sixth house. This is the house of routine. This is the house of health, of daily work, and then kind of what your day-to-day looks like. So what I will say is that when it comes to upkeeping your spiritual, your mental, your emotional, and your physical health, how intentional are you being about that? And do you see yourself as a sacred temple that is worthy of that intention, that is worthy of you returning to commitment to your hygienic upkeep? And also, what does your day-to-day look like? And if you have a routine, is it stifling you? And if you don't have a routine, would implementing a routine benefit you? So really working your relationship with having an intentional routine, right?
This couldn't be more spot on. This is the energy of the lion. I choose to know, and it's declare clear cognizance. And so when we're in our clear cognizance, we are in this high vibrational frequency where things have not come yet to fruition. However, we are trusting that they will. And whenever we're out of alignment in our third eye chakra, we're holding on to constrictions, patterns, and ways of being that don't allow us to actually declare what we choose to know is best for us. So exactly with what you said, I would really invite you to look at what patterns and ways of being can help you to really kind of tap into what you know is best for you. And if you are perhaps saying to yourself, I don't know, to invite the narrative with the tiger's energy to say, I choose to know.
Oh my God, you are someone who really me on I Choose to Know, and it's really been so transformative. I also want to say to anyone who's resonating with this deck, because it is the most incredible deck ever, it's literally the best deck. Made this deck. We're still on the wait list, right, to get it? I don't know if it's on sale yet.
Yes. No, it's literally going to be sent to me this week. I'm manifesting. It's supposed to be sent to me this week, so I'll have it in hand to be able to sell, but you can definitely just sign up for the pre-order. The link is in my bio. I just finished the e-guidebook that's going to be with it, so I'm just like, I'm freaking out. I'm so excited, but that's why I can speak to it so quickly.
I know. It's literally, I was like, I can tell that, like, this is you. So it's one of the most incredible decks I've ever seen. The card tip today, Yassi girl!
Oh my God, on his birthday, of course, and on Jupiter and Neptune.
On Jupiter and Neptune. Do you see what happens when you just flow with trust? Oh.
And I got to give a quick shout out to Ikaru, because I know that he has his amazing podcast that's launching today, which I can't wait to listen to. But also, he actually did all the graphic design to make this card come to life. So he was an instrumental part to it.
Oh my God, so much talent in one. Yeah, it's the Therapist, I believe, is the name of his. I'm so excited to tune in. There's so much community. Look at this community. Yes. So our last three signs, these are our fire signs. The first one we're looking at is Leo risings or Leo suns. And this is going to be in your 8th house. So this is a crazy house to have a transit in. This is the house of death, sex, and rebirth. So you want to look at your sexual identity, right? How are you standing in that sacral energy? As well as like your relationship with change and transformation. So what part of you do you really want to shed? And what is that skin that we're leaving on the floor? Like, what is going to be grown from it? Who are you stepping into? So really allowing yourself to move with the ebb and flow of life, and understanding that perhaps sometimes old desires and old, goals that you had don't align with who you have evolved into being. And it's okay to release that. And it's okay to step into a new version of self. Yeah.
You're ready? You ready? You're not even ready. I cleanse to clear, frog, solar plexus chakra, potential navigate. Exactly this. So this is a reminder, whenever we see the frogs, typically we see them after they've come out after the rain. They can live in both the land and the water, but really this is an invitation for you to declutter, for you to cleanse, so that you can really get clear on your potential and where you are navigating in your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual plane. So this is the time with the frogs and energy to let yourself release, get really clear, because the more that you tap into this place, the frog is telling you that you know how to navigate in this potential better than anybody else. So just trust that.
Oh my God, yes, that's the best. I couldn't have put it better. Oh my gosh. I'm about to jump into the ocean. I'm the same. I'm so excited. I took off work today. Like, this is important.
Yes.
Release it all. Let it go. Oh my gosh. And also just like Leo risings are like just such inherent lionesses that like you owe it to yourself to allow your to allow your main to show up in whatever your main wants to look like in that given day, because it's always going to be powerful. So Sagittarius rising, this is actually my rising sign, or Sagittarius suns. This is in your 4th house. This is the divine feminine. This is what you define home to be, whether that home is external or internal. So this is also a beautiful time to look at, like, where do I want to live? Like, is this where I'm at home right now? How can I make it feel like home, or how can I navigate to a new place that does feel more aligned with home? And also, am I a safe home for myself? Is my inner dialogue supportive? Am I a safe space to return to? And also family. What do you define family to be? Your divine feminine, with receiving. What dynamics from my maternal experience have colored how I show up in my relationships? It's a really it's quite the house to have a transit in. It's a beautiful one as well.
So we're getting a lot of solar plexus for the fire signs, interesting enough. So this is, I own my inner light, owl, and this is guidance, intelligence, and really what this is saying. So anytime the owl's energy comes through, it is actually an invitation for you to own your divine feminine power and your divine feminine goddess energy. And really what happens with the owls is that they can hunt even in, like, at night. And so this is really us being so clear of owning our inner light. What color is it? What word is attached to it? What energy? How does it make you feel? And letting yourself just really kind of take that energy as you navigate through this space into what is your inner home.
I have to journal on that for 4 hours, genuinely. That's it. Especially with the divine feminine coming up, especially with it being this Jupiter and Neptune, which is all about how can you feel innately deserving, and how can you receive, right? Receive without needing to do in order to feel deserving of receiving. Like, it's a whole thing. So thank you. And the last sign before we move into our meditation and Reiki is Aries suns and Aries rising. This is in your 12th house. So this is intuition, fear, and your subconscious world. So what is your relationship with fear, right? Because I feel like we think we need to build lives where we eradicate ourselves of fear, when in actuality it's witnessing our fear, understanding our fear, and holding our fear's hand. So how can you witness your fear, but not let it stop you, not let it drive the car? And also, what is your relationship with your intuition, your clairvoyance? How do you be your own best source of counsel? And ultimately, what does your subconscious world look like? It's back to that inner dialogue. You know, what is kind of being in the back of my head constantly? What is the song that I'm always listening to? And is it a supportive song for me? And I think ultimately, just like, pay attention to your dream world right now if you're any Aries placements. All this being read in public.
I gotta just tell you that right now I am capable, pursuit, inner strength. Wow, the anteater is coming through here. And this is Sacral Chakra, which is where we store our fears. And so right now, the anteater, my heart for these areas is just really kind of saying, I am capable to tap into your inner strength and to know that there's a pursuit. Whenever the anteater's energy comes through, they like to really live in isolation, okay? Mm-hmm. And so what this is actually also inviting you is that perhaps a way that you can move through some of this fear, my Aries loves, is that you can allow yourself the space to get out there and be a little bit more social, to do things that are a little bit more creative, to do things that are a little bit more fun. That's basically what the anteater's energy is saying, is that to get back out there, to work through your fear, know that you're capable, know that you can just tap into that inner strength and really be supported by the things that really help you to feel that transformation in this. Yeah.
First of all, the 12th house is the house of isolation. So it's so insane that you said that, because we can self-isolate when we think that we're in that space of like, and it's so important that we recognize that it is in the immersion of community that we actually find a lot of our nectar. And yes, the collective sacral energy is I have to talk to people, unfortunately, but like, alive with you. For sure. It will find your community. And what's so beautiful about the sacral energy that's kind of happening collectively is that we really are in a very fertile space of giving birth to the largest versions of ourselves, of the most aligned and purposeful versions of ourselves, and the versions of ourselves that are liberated and that know that, just the sacral energy makes a lot of sense, and it's kind of blanketing us because we really are returning to the awareness of our power and alleviating ourselves from the ways in which we're standing in our own way. So yes, thank you. If you missed obviously this live is going to be shared. So if you missed your sun or rising, definitely you'll be able to go back. But yeah, with that being said, I hope that those resonated. We'll kind of move into a short and sweet little visualization meditation, and we'll get some Reiki love from Jess, who I'm so glad anytime I get to do anything with you.
I love you. Every time we do these, I'm like, we need to do these more every time.
it's ridiculous. Beautiful. So are we ready? Do you feel ready? Do you want to?
Yeah, I feel good. Let's do it.
Beautiful. So if you're sticking around, then I'm so excited. If you are bouncing off, then thank you so much for joining us this far. And please make sure that today is a day dedicated to nature, to rest, to detox. We really want to make sure that our vessels are hydrated today, that we're not putting in too many toxins. We're really letting ourselves receive the downloads that we're going to inevitably receive today. So making sure that you're journaling, listening, paying attention. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you. We're grateful for you. So with that being said, wherever you are, I invite you to get comfortable. I'll have some background music going. I want you to invite in some movement into the body if you haven't had any intentional stretching yet. Letting your vessel dictate to you how it wants to be moved and nurtured. And once you feel called to, you can join me at your center. Placing your hands wherever they feel the most organically called. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose, filling up the chest completely. Sitting with that breath, letting it marinate and spread. And exhaling, holding that breath out at the bottom. Once again, breathing in fully, filling up the chest completely through the nose. Sitting with that breath. And releasing, holding it out. One final breath, breathing in fully and completely. Holding. And really caving in with that exhale. Holding out. And returning to your own organic breathing. Bringing your full awareness to your physical vessel right now. The temperature of the room. Noticing any sounds, any textures. Bringing that awareness within. If you find that you're holding on to any tension internally on a physical space, I invite you to bring your hands there if you can pinpoint it. It could be your jaw, your shoulders, chest. For me, it's the temples. Massaging the space, giving yourself permission to release the weight that is not yours, to undo the knots you did. And bringing our awareness to our mind's eye. I invite you to travel to a sacred space in nature. A place that feels holy to you. Home. A place where you can see, touch, feel, and taste God. Maybe a place you've seen, a place you visited, or a place that's completely new, fully immersing yourself in the physicality of this place. Smelling the smells, feeling the textures of the ground beneath you. Hearing the sounds. As we're in this space, I'm calling in and inviting in our highest guides and ancestors, our ascended masters, angels, the highest version of ourselves, whatever divine spirit team that you connect with and are guided by and protected by on a daily basis. The God, really calling them in to be with us, shield us, to guide us into the see them, feel them. Feel the warmth of their love, whether they're physically hugging you or emotionally. Feel the safety of their presence and know this is always and constantly surrounding your auric field. You are always in the presence. And as we witness a cosmic episode like Jupiter conjoining Neptune for the first and only time in our lifetimes, we're invited to really set intention on what the most delicious version of our lives looks like. How we're calling in its arrival, knowing that we don't have to do, we simply have to feel worthy of receiving. And whatever weights you are carrying, surrendering guides. In this moment, let them know what you are now asking them to carry. Give them your fears, give them your exhaustion. Give them any pain, any wounds. Surrender it to a team that you trust will have it taken care of. Feel the weight of these tasks come off you as if you were taking off a heavy backpack. Know that it is not your job to fix yourself. Your job is to continue following play and pleasure and witnessing love, being love. Know that that vibrational frequency will invite in all of your desires. In these last few moments in your mind's eye, as spirit does not belong to you, witness yourself living a life immersed in love, in ease, in play, and fun. And witness your manifestations arrive to you. Seeing yourself liberated from labor, and fully immersed in worthiness. I invite you to stay in this energy as long as you feel called to. Really visualizing how delicious life is when you allow your problems to be taken care of, when you are not worried on the how, simply focusing on the why, witnessing the already. Letting the Reiki love that you just received from Jess really immerse in your skin, breathing it in, breathing it in. For those of you that want to stay in this feeling, as we're coming up on the hour of the IG, I think it'll close out. So feel free to continue laying and immersing yourself in it.
Yeah, that was so beautiful. I'll
Lord,
share the quick, I got a quick message that I'll just share. That's like a
please.
poem. Yep. Today is a day to remind ourselves that our ancestors left their wisdom for our expansion because they know that we are deserving of more. What is your more you are willing to receive? What if today was a powerful reminder that the best is yet to come? All I have to do is trust in me. That was beautiful, though. I selfishly stopped and just I had to tune in, so thank you.
I don't even have the words for how gorgeous that was. And know that,
I'll put it up here.
yes, please, I was going to say, please write that out and know that the biggest offering you can give to your ancestors is setting yourself free and living a life that is immersed in the fun and freedom they probably didn't have the chance to. So give yourself permission to run free, to honor and follow play. With that being said, bring this energy into the rest of your day. Go return to nature. Go write down and be specific on what you are calling in and know that it's being taken care of. And I love you so much, Jess. I love each and every one of
I
you.
love you.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Oh,
I
yeah.
do. I know. I feel better too. Thank you so much.
Better too. Beautiful, guys.
I
Gorgeous.
love
Well,
you.
Jess and I, if you ever want to do any one-on-ones, this whole month I'm donating all of my readings forward to different charities. So if you want to work with me, now would be the time. Beautiful.
Oh,
And yeah, oh, thank you, Chloe. You're such a thank you, Women of Alchemy. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And we'll see you guys next time. Yeah.
yes, yes. Can't wait. Love you.